call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta feel the tension. In my thoughts.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Today, we have just a quick little video that I'm going to talk about a couple of things. So this is going to be numero tres of Justin Herbert versus Tua Tagovailoa. And this is probably going to be the tiebreaker. This is going to be the one that showcases exactly what Tua has and what Herbert has. I think last year they took advantage of us. They did a great job. They really confused Tua. He just was not playing himself. I mean, they really got Tua last year. And, Justin Herbert did his thing. It was the problem with last year is that our offense was the reliable source of, I guess, ROI. And the defense kind of just, sucked. It wasn't good. And, Justin Herbert took advantage of that, just like most quarterbacks took advantage of our defense. And when the offense wasn't running, it just, couldn't really do anything. And for the most part, it wasn't that bad of a game. I mean, it was pretty close most of the game. We only lost by 6 points. I think every game that we lost last year was by 6 points, which is pretty miraculous. But, we'll talk about right now the comparison that we constantly have with Justin Herbert and Tua Tagovailoa. And first off, I want to say that Justin Herbert was put into a much better position than Tua ever was. And that's why I think it's more of a late bloomer that Tua is going to be going into his fourth year. Justin Herbert was put into a spot that the coach loved him and put him into a situation where he could thrive and he could have success. Tua was put into a position where the coach just constantly badmouthed him. The coach clearly didn't want him as a quarterback, clearly wanted somebody else, and didn't really put many weapons around him, didn't really play to his advantages, just played to the way that he wanted to play, and it messed Tua up. So at this point, last year, whatever happened. But coming into this year, Justin Herbert has a good defense. Dolphins have a good defense. Tua has a good offense. Justin Herbert has a good offense. So now there's really no excuses. So the first week typically is the feeler outer. You're kind of feeling out what your team's about, what they need to do. You're not at your best yet, so that is also going to play a factor. Depends on who. This is going to be a really key matchup. We're going to see where we're at. It's going to be essentially showing who's the quarterback that is better. Because at this point, whoever wins is. Yeah, it's hard to say that because it's a team effort. The team beat the team. So whoever wins, the team won. But people are going to go off and sit there and say, "Oh, Justin Herbert's better than Tua," or honestly, I think if Tua wins, they're just going to be like making an excuse of why Justin Herbert lost. It's probably what's going to happen. But I think this game is going to be a key matchup. They put it at 4 o'clock because they know it's a key matchup. And we'll take a look at, the first game. Tua definitely played better than Justin Herbert. He was more accurate and clearly stirred that team to a win on that field. And the Chargers at the time, I'm pretty sure, were a much better team than the Dolphins were, and at that point we were winning by barely anything most games, and the Chargers they just played a defense that when you can confuse Justin Herbert, he starts doing things. That's the thing with Justin Herbert. I believe personally, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, God, what's his name? Forgot his name. Jalen Hurts. Their offensive lines were so good that sometimes you just sit there and you're watching them and it's like they're just standing there looking around the field, where again, Tua never really had that. I've seen plays where Justin Herbert drops back and is just bouncing for 6-7 seconds. I've seen plays like that. So any quarterback that has that amount of time is going to find someone. It's almost impossible for you to cover someone for that long. So that's the key here, is that I think the offensive line for Justin Herbert is not as good as it was a couple years ago and a year ago. And I think our offensive line, well, we'll see what happens. But that's going to be a key there, because I think if we get pressure on Justin Herbert, that the first game when we got pressure on him, it was a different story. He didn't know what to do. But the second game, we didn't really get too much on him, as much as we did before. And, he was able to toss the ball around. So what it's going to boil down to, the offensive line. Our offensive line needs to hold up, because the thing is Justin Herbert's usually does. So our offensive line also needs to give Tua that amount of time that he needs. 2, I do believe our offense is better than theirs. I think there's no doubt about it. I think our offense definitely can be more explosive. And the key here is Tua needs to take checkdowns in this game. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest key here with Tua, is he needs to take the check down. He doesn't need to throw the ball for 20 yards every play. And I think when he's playing some of these guys, he feels like he needs to completely destroy them and outduel them. And that's where I think he ran into problems last year, is he wanted to do certain things instead of just taking some of the other things that were around him. He needs to take the check down. He needs to pass it to Devon A-Chain, whoever's out in the flat, whatever it is, take the check down, because most likely they're going to try and do the same thing that they did last year, because it worked. They're going to try and do that. So, again, he needs to take the check down. Tua needs to combine. The third thing is that he needs to combine the Tua of checking down and the deep pass Tua. Because I think last year it was too much of the deep pass, which it was working. But when it's not, I think you need to just check the ball down. And I believe he kind of forgot to do that. He was just so into passing the ball for so many yards, and he got kind of addicted to that he just wouldn't take underneath routes. And sometimes you need to be like Tom Brady and just get 4-5 yards each pass and just keep moving the chains. That's what you need to do. It doesn't need to be about 30 yards every single play. So that'll be the third thing. We'll see what happens, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know who you think is going to win. We'll see what happens. I'm either going to be super happy on Sunday night, or I'm going to be pretty pissed off. But either way, hope you have a great rest of your day. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. As always, have a great rest of your day, guys. Fins up. Peace.